What's up, guys? Welcome to the Decathlon Final. My name is Parky, and I'm going to be just walking you guys through and how my deck building went. I originally was going to be streaming on Twitch, and then I realized, do I want to risk any stream snipers or whatever? Probably not. So I'm just going to be diving in here. I've already taken a brief look into what's been going on with the cards, just so I had an idea to refresh myself with cards that I didn't know, with cards that I do know. And also I had no idea that it was going to be like a cube style or sealed pool, just based on the fact that you get 82 rares and mythics. So this is going to be traditional sealed. You get a bunch of powerful cards, like it says, and then you also get tons of fixing. There's all 5 colors, and it's crazy. So I figured that's why I'd take a peek beforehand to speed things up a bit and just walk you guys through what was available. I know other people will be doing that too, but that's okay. So anyways, we start off, we get our card sleeve, then we get some garbage lands as like a, congratulations, you did all this for nothing. And then you also, if you get 2 wins, you get the draft tokens, so that's not bad, plus the avatar. Then you also add on the wild cards with 3, and then you get the one of each card for the next set, which I'm super excited for. The spoilers have been really cool. So let's jump right in. We can show you what each color and color pair are doing. So just to start you guys off, we have, and I'll switch you guys over to the main view here. We have white, which is focused on 1/1 counters, targeting your own creatures, and just kind of pumping your own stuff that way. Then you've got some flash removal and enchantments. You've got some cards to slow them down a little bit, and some protection from stuff. So you've got some instants that protect you from colors. I don't know how good that's going to be because of the fact that there are so many colors. People could be playing 3, 4, 5 color decks. And if you counter or you protect yourself from one color and they play a second spell that, moves around that, it might be a little bit more reasonable to expect that. So, and then they have a couple of top end flyers. So blue is going to be your typical control counter deck with some good blockers up. You've got some artifact synergies, a couple more things that would mix in with white with some targeting. You've got token producing and card draw, more counters, tokens and tokens and tokens. So that's kind of what's going on. Not honestly a lot in blue. So I'm just going to move past that now. We've got zombies. This is the theme in black with some typical removal in black. Plus you got a mass, and you have some stuff that just like puts -1 counters, +1 counters. Where's the +1 counters card? There it is. Attack, whatever attacking creature gets +1. And then this card, which seems like a trap card to me, because if you wanted to target yourself and you could kill your own zombie or another token, you're paying 7 to get 3 and maybe kill 1, so you're down to 2. But then if you target somebody else, like how many would you have to play to kill one of their creatures? And then you're also giving them a ton. So yeah, it just kind of doesn't seem worth it. So black doesn't really interest me a whole lot. Then red's got the typical burn spells. You've got some cards that work with red-blue. You've got some token producers, more token producers. This one's really interesting, actually, because it pumps itself and then also creates tokens. So I'll probably be looking into that. Card draw, and then some classic other red cards that you've seen before. And then green is going to be ramp, and then +1/+1 counters and fixing. So in this sort of style, I find that it's very important to have green in your deck because it allows you to play so many other strong cards. I'd be surprised if anybody wasn't playing green by how strong it is. And then they also have this interesting idea with the squirrels, where they like this. I don't know. It's a weird theme that they have, but this one, anyways, has forest walk, which with all the fixing I'll show you, they've got tri lands, dual lands. I could see forest walk actually being very good, just because you'll be able to get past all of their blockers, just because everyone's going to be playing probably green, like from the looks of it at least. And then there's this one that also pumps your squirrels, which is kind of funny. So if somebody has this like big pop off with squirrels in this event, I wouldn't doubt it. And then yeah, just tons of +1/+1 counters, more like land style cards that focus on that. And then yeah, some big beefy creatures. And then we have all of our fixing. We have two in each color pair, and then some gold cards that just kind of help tie in your colors. And we've got some artifacts too. Now, I do want to note that I will be playing this, and I don't know if anybody is going to be passing up playing Coma, but everybody knows that this is one of the best cube cards, so why wouldn't you want to play it? Like, unless you're doing a red or red-white aggro, this better be probably in your deck, at least in my perspective. Yeah, so you got some artifacts that fix you, pump up your creatures, more fixing, and then just some 2 bombs at the end here. So let's start with the deck building so we don't waste too much time. So I'm just going to go through white because I'm thinking of doing a white. I'm between. I think it's going to be white-green splashing a few colors just to kind of bring in +1/+1 counters, tokens, and card draw. So I think that's going to be where the best value is. It might be a stretch, so I might kind of narrow that down when we get to the end. But so we'll be heading in Esper Sentinels, obviously fantastic, especially if you get counters on it. I'm just gonna add in anything that has value so far, and good 2-drops I'll probably be a little bit more lenient with until I can figure out what I want. And then for blue, I don't think there's much that I want in blue. Negate's good if they have something that I want to, but it is traditional, so I'm going to save that for my sideboard. I'll leave Essence Scatter in though. That there aren't like you saw, there aren't many artifacts, so I'm not super interested in this. If my whole deck was artifacts, I'd probably play it, but it's not. So the Channeler's good, Memory Deluge, the Clock, Typhoon, and the Winder. For black, I'm probably just going to grab the removal. This is interesting, more removal, and that's got a lot of value to it. I think that's it so far. And then red, I'm not as interested in. Like, maybe this might be good, depending on what creatures I have out, but I mean, it probably will be good. It's tough because I don't know what colors I want to lean towards. The nice thing is that red is the color with token or treasure tokens, so it will allow you to take advantage of that. But I don't think I'm going to be taking too much advantage of it. I'm just going to start throwing all these in because, like I said, it just seems like green has the most benefit, most value. So I could honestly play most of green. And then this is pretty good. Depending, I'm just, like I said, I don't know what colors I'm playing, so I'm just throwing in some things that I think will be useful. I probably won't be playing that, but um, and then what do we want here? Now this is actually a really interesting card. So I think this helps out the red-white aggro a lot. But if it gets removed, then I think that you lose a lot of the value in all the rest because there aren't many spells to target your own stuff. So that's good. Briefcase is great. And then I'm going to just kind of play around with that. I've got a lot of top end right now, so that's obviously going to get cleaned out. For fixing, I'm going to leave it for now, and then I'll throw in my fixing after once I figure out what I want to do. But I obviously have a lot of cards thrown in here. But let's separate it right off the bat. So we've got this card seems a little bit too narrow. The fixing's good. And then this can exile from people's graveyards, so that'll be good with helping prevent any recursion or reanimation and stuff like that. There is some flashback, not much, but there is a little bit. And then I think Evoke is another thing. No, Evoke is, whereas Unearth is one. There's one other ability that works from the graveyard. Anyways, we'll see it eventually. So this is what I'm saying. Like green has great 2-drops, and I can splash other colors with it. White seems to be solid, and then I'm not sure about the Ascending Pack Leader because I don't know how many cards above a 4 that I'm, or spells with mana value of 4 that I'm going to be casting, but so far it's okay. This seems strong. It's going to slow them down, but I'm not sure if I'm playing the aggressive style deck, but it could get counters early as a flyer, which is also great. Tokens are good. Anyways, so here's kind of like a couple of the cards I'm working with. So these add extra counters to things. Both of them do it. The fact that there's 2 of them makes it even more appealing to me to run this type of deck. That's also why I want to run Drana. I think I'm going to want to cut a lot of my blue and just go red, black, white, splashing red. I think that's the direction I want to head in. And then, yeah, I'm going to leave Coma in. And I think I'm also going to leave... Because there's only 2 exile cards, I believe, in the entire set. So this is going to be really good for putting shield counters on. On top of that, it's a counter, so my creatures would add a second shield counter on it, so it'd be extremely hard to remove. I think it's going to be better than this because this can be removed immediately. And then I guess it can get unearthed and remove something else, but then we're also giving them power stones, and I don't want to do that. So for creature count, we're at 23. I'm going to have to cut that down by another 8. So this creates counters and tokens. This creates counters and tokens, and this is just a bomb. This doesn't seem too great. So I think I'm going to get rid of this. It does let you draw cards, but it also costs you 2 mana to draw. It costs 6 mana to essentially draw 2 cards. You can do it any turn, split up between like 2 mana on one turn, 2 on another, but you're also paying 5 for a 3/2. It seems really slow. Whereas the Gearhulk seems like it's doing exactly what I want it to. The oddity, honestly, for the value, like it costs 7 a whole turn that I could be playing down a Coma just to give my creatures +1/+1. I guess trample is important. But is it better? It would be between these two. I would have to cut one. But this is going to create a 2/2 knight with vigilance every time that a creature with a +1/+1 counter dies. So that gives me incentive to block. It gives me incentive to do a lot of things. So, and it's got protection for multicolored, which is pretty narrow, but it does protect from some things. So I think it just does more. Like the value is just greater. So I think I'm gonna have to get rid of Murderous Rider just because it's got 2 black. It's too hard to splash. This is a really interesting card, but the thing is, how many flyers are going to be in this set where they can A, just chump it, or B, this isn't going to attack and do too much. Like the biggest flyer is a 5/5 in the set. Now this also has reach, which is good to note. I guess there isn't much reach anyways. You've got 1 7-drop that has reach, and then 1 6-drop that has flying. So in that case, for simplicity, I think I just want to splash the red. And I think that's how I want to go about this. Now, here's the thing. With Gala's Greeters, I can splash anything. But 2 mana for that might be a little bit stiff. It's like this. I can't play that because it's too much for my splash. Memory Deluge, you know what? Even though it's too much, I think the value is there where you can draw 2 cards off of it twice. I think it's important to have. So I'm going to leave that in for now. We'll get back to that in a second. We're down to 19. We need to drop another at least 4 creatures. Maybe only 3. And I think one has to be a 1 or 2 drop, and one has to be a 3 drop. And I think it's honestly going to be the pack leader. It's too slow, just in general. It's going to have to wait 3 turns to get a +1/+1 counter, unless something else put it on it itself. But I'd rather put it on an Esper Sentinel because then I can draw more cards. Yeah, I think this is pretty good for Graveyard Hate. And these are just like kind of the basis for the deck. Fixing. I think these are great 2-drops. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I need to have 4 creatures here. I think the Spellbinder is gone. And I think... See, this is great. And especially if there are a lot of tokens. If I can exile... I gotta look this up, how Deputy of Detention works with tokens, because I don't know if tokens really have a name. So I'm not sure if they're what the like technical ruling is on that, because I haven't played a card like that, I believe. Let's see, Deputy of Detention. It seems like it does. So I think for that reason, I want to leave it in. Like that could clear a board no matter what tokens they're focusing on. And on top of that, that could also clear. Like, here's a problem. It could exile one creature. This is a it's a type of game style where you only have one of each creature. You're not creating any copies of anything. So really you might be getting rid of one card otherwise. But this is going to be my... Maybe that's a sideboard card. If they're playing a lot of tokens and they play this down, if I play this down, it's good. So I'll keep that as a sideboard card. That's going to be my creatures, I believe. So that's 16. All right, let's look down here now. So removal in my colors is what I want to focus on first. So I have Cast Out. I have Inscription of Abundance. And then I also have Valorous Stance. And I think that's it. So those are for sures. I want this for my fixing to help with blue. But if I am noticing that I have no issues getting that fixing, then I might cut it. I might even be okay with just having the Courier's Briefcase, because it creates a token and it provides fixing. That actually might be the play, because the Briefcase is better. This is great. All creature tokens have flying. We're going to have lots of that going on. This seems a little narrow because those are both of our splash colors. This seems a little bit more reasonable, even if, you know, like I get some... I'm hoping to have lots of treasure tokens because of Gala, but if I don't, then I can also grab something with the Simulacrum, and then I can also grab more fixing with... Now that I think about it, I'm putting the artifact back in. Because if they kill my Gala right off the bat, which should be a high target for anybody, then what are you going to do? And I don't want to get stuck in the game, one game knockout where I have mana issues. I feel like that's usually the thing that you got to worry about the most. I guess there are tri-lands though. I don't know. We'll see once the tri-lands are in. I'll leave it at 41. Sorry, 41 cards, and if I need to make a cut, that'll be the one. One drops. Let's separate this again. Okay. So, do I rather have protection from a color or a card that puts counters on it when I have one that does both? But this can bring it back. I think because I'm doing counters, this can technically put two +1/+1 counters on a creature twice. So I think I'm going to get rid of God's Will. Fading Hope is interesting. Is this a cast or an ETB? Enters. So I know I'm not playing blue technically. Like right now I'm everything, which isn't great, but lots of fixing should help. And this might help slow them down if they're really playing a bomb. It also could help me with fixing. I could bounce my own. And it could also help with putting counters on things. So I think the bounce is actually really useful. I think it's more useful than the slip out the back. It's more versatile. Even though the slip out the back does protect you from interaction. This is quite a strong card, especially if I'm doing counters and I can take the damage. 1 to deal 4 is very good. I think Fear of Resistance doesn't do as much as Indestructible, so I'm going to get rid of it. Essence Scatter, I'm going to leave in. I think like I'm going to have enough mana up where I'm going to be able to just counter something before it creates value. The only thing is I can't counter Coma, but that's okay. I need a way to deal with Coma. I think that way is going to be my Binding the Gods. Okay, so I think Cathartic Pyre is going to be a little bit useless in this deck. I think I'm also going to want to get rid of Instant Speed Exile is really good. And I think it's going to be more impactful than this. This actually seems too slow now that I think about it. I didn't realize that I had this option. So I think that outweighs the Binding of the Gods. Chitter Spitter seems just cute, and I don't want cute. If somebody can pull this off, go crazy. It does put down tokens, and they'll have flying. But I have better things to do at 3 than put down 1/1s. Now, 1/1s that'll grow, but they don't have counters on them. This is a hard card to evaluate, personally. What I do think is a little slow, although it does give you... It works really well with... where is it? These two. Winding Constrictor is actually really good. It grows it twice as fast, and I'll draw 7 cards. But yeah, I think Memory Deluge just seems hard to cast. Then again, Shark Typhoon also seems difficult. It's hard to say. Like, my top end's very strong. And I know you can't have too much top end. Would I rather have this over this? Not in this format, to be honest. Because they can bounce this, and I can lose it. Versus this. Or so they can bounce the token, specifically. I guess I could just play out the artifact or enchantment again, but then I gotta play a non-creature spell. I'm trying to be more creature-based. So I'm liking the Warden better. I think I only have 1, 2, 4 artifacts, because we've got an artifact creature, artifact creature, artifact, 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 artifact. Does create a token with it. So it's 3 mana, 2/2 at the start. But it's not... It is going to stay on the battlefield when the creature is destroyed. But I just don't think it's worth it. This, on the other hand, might be a good splash, even though it is not both colors. It can ping them for 2 to get in the last bit of damage. It can draw a card. It can kill something. God, they just had to make this incredibly difficult, didn't they? I feel like Vivian has to be in there. It's a kill spell for 4, plus it can pump my creatures. Plus it can reveal a creature card from outside of the game and put it in your hand. In this format, that's kind of insane. Big score seems really good for fixing. And card draw. This seems really good for value. It's a, you sacrifice something small, you get a creature to replace it immediately. Doesn't come into play tapped. And then you also get a creature back to your hand. It's hard to say, to be honest. Maybe Reckless Rage is a little bit hard to figure out. I still need to cut. What is that, 9? No. 11. If I were to play 16 lands. 16 lands seems really hard to do in this set, though. Let's, it might work okay, though, depending, because there's so much fixing. I feel like 16 is reasonable with the treasure tokens, with the artifacts that ramp us, with the creatures that ramp us. But yeah, we're going to have to really siphon this down here. Ranger class is great. Removal. I think we're going to have enough fixing, to be honest. Jitter Spitter's gone. I thought there was a card where if I create a token, yeah, I might actually, this might seem wild. I might put the Chitter Spitter critter, whatever it is, back in. Like it only costs one and tap to create a creature. That triggers the Gala. That triggers the Chatterfang. Oh my god, Chitter and Chatter? You're kidding. This also ramps us like crazy. All of these creatures could get +1/+1 and tap and throw down some big creatures. This is so difficult. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Midnight Clock seems slow, but it also, if it survives and it ramps, it helps with the coma. It helps with the deluge. It helps with card draw. It helps with not running out of things to do. And there's not a lot of artifact removal. I'd say the only artifact removal is going to be the, I mean, it can get countered, but I actually don't know. Oh, target permanent. Yeah, I don't know. But it also, like, it gets the Winding Constrictor helps big time with it. Oh boy. I don't know where to go from here. I really don't. Maybe I cut one more creature. But this is card draw too. boy. Like, this does everything you want to do. This is just like a hard thing to deal with, but every turn it creates a token. I guess I could grab it with the Vivian if I get to -5. Maybe this just isn't gonna do it. For 4 mana, I'm probably gonna already have the lands that I need based on, like, it's only gonna grab basic lands. I'm gonna have a lot of dual. It does when it dies, it draws a card though, which is pretty great. Plus, if I have any issues with fixing, plus I can make sure that I do get big score. Let's get rid of big score. Because Memory Deluge is better than big score. Let's go. Electrolyze is gone. Let's get rid of one of our 2-drops here. So our worst one, we've got I feel like, oh boy. Let's get rid of the Blood of Bones. So maybe we just focus on our fixing for white, blue, and green. Splashing black, red. Like, the only things that need black and red are the briefcase, D-Spark, and I think Krenko. Oh, and Chatterfang. So let's do Essence Scatter can slow them down. But it is a splash color, so let's leave it out for now. Actually, you know what? I'd rather Essence Scatter in than Valorous Stance. Yeah, let's bring Essence Scatter back in. Actually, while we're at it, let's just go grab our fixing. So we have, this is great. It's gonna pull out another land. That's good. And then I think we're going to want to put in these all seem fine. Like our main color is green, so I think having the splashes with green all of the green lands should go in. And then that allows us to fetch a blue source. Let's get, how many white sources do we have here? 3. Let's get rid of a red. Got 2 black sources, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 red sources. And then we said we'd drop. You know, realistically, we're not going to be able to play the Essence Scatter when we want it to because we're splashing it. It's too early. Let's remove a blue source. And let's put a black source in there just in case. All right. Very difficult. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 black or green sources, which I think is what we want. Splashing everything else. Now we just have to whittle this down into nothing. Is Krenko going to even be able to attack on turn 3? Now that I think about it. Like, I have nothing to allow it to attack through. Krenko might be a trap for me. I'm not playing any other. Like, I could pump it up a bunch and then attack at once. Like, I don't need to attack first. But I guess if it does attack, it's got high value. Plus, with the Ranger class, it automatically gets a +2/+2. Let's cut one more creature. I think we're gonna keep the Fading Hope. And then how important is it that our tokens have flying? a pretty good card, to be honest. Creates a 4/4 flyer with 4. Like, is that just better than sometimes getting this in here? I'm actually going to remove that. Now it just seems like I'm main green with splashing it every other color, which I'm almost fine with. Maybe the Homestead Courage is a little bit narrow, but it does help with the Esper Sentinel. We're going to be getting that anyways from everything else. Let's see. Maybe the Midnight Clock isn't that great, but this is a pretty bomby set. A lot of cards dying, a lot of cards needing to be shuffled back in. If you can get to 12, just... yeah, I don't know. Because if I was control, and I was holding back every turn something, then I could play this at the end of my turn, but I don't know if I'm doing that. It is a land that might allow me to... now that I only have, you know, maybe I cut that and put in a green source, or a blue source, sorry. So I've got, I'm going to want the Esper Sentinel out every time I draw it. I need the best odds to get that Esper Sentinel out, which is going to be 5 lands plus a tap land that can grab it. Just depends on if the Esper Sentinel is even strong in this set. It might be. It also might just die pretty quickly. Then again, I can play it on turn 1, play Ranger class. Then turn 3, it can pump itself to a 2/2. That's still pretty slow. This is tough. You know what? I am going to get rid of the Midnight Clock. It's too slow. It's not going to do a whole lot. I have other ways to get me mana of any color. I mean, unless I'm getting tons of tokens, there's so much... how do you choose? Like, this is so damn hard. Like, this might not even be useful. I might not even have any basic lands left. Okay, I made my decision. I have good fixing early on. I don't need a ton of fixing because I'm not splashing a bunch of colors. I mean, I am, but not a ton of those colors specifically. And I have the fixing to handle that. So if that's the case, I want to... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in white. Now I want to get rid of... feel like I have to get rid of a 2-drop. I like them all, though. Like what they're doing. Maybe Memory Deluge is just better than Midnight Clock. That might be the play. Like I still have, I'm getting extra counters on my Planeswalkers from the Winding the Constrictor. This seems better. This also gets counters, and that can pump with the Winding Constrictor. Briefcase is good. All of this is good. This can also draw a bunch of cards if I'm not having issues. Why do I feel like I've got to drop one of the big creatures? But let's not get too hasty here for a second. I'm going to be wanting to play a lot of my early stuff. I'm not going to be able to play the bounce spell right off the bat. Let's cut it down to that. We've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 lands. I think that's where I want to leave it at. Even though I have some way of fixing. Maybe I drop to 16. Maybe I just drop a Plains, go down to 16. Don't worry about the Esper Sentinel. And then oh boy. Let's go with 4/4 with trample, adds 4 to anything. Reach trample. Maybe I'm never going to be playing this. Maybe the format's going to be too quick. I'm going to have this in my hand, and I'm just going to be sitting on it forever. Now, the Vivian can grab it. Potentially. Very small chance that ever happens, but it can. I'm going to do it. We're going to go 13 and 11. We're changing our pet. We're getting this all set up. Let's get our, what do we want, our red koi? Let's get our koi in there.
I will aid you.
Sure, let's get Nissa. And let's see how this goes. This is going to be either absolutely awful or it's going to work out fine. I'm going to get a couple wins, but it's also traditional. And yeah, may as well just give it a shot. This is my first time trying one of these types of events. Obviously, I've done Cube before, but I don't know. A lot of powerful cards, a lot of good combinations. I'm just hoping that I don't get aggroed out too quickly. I don't know. Not a bad start. I do have to grab one more land, but I have my red fixing for Krenko. I have 4 of my colors. I just need to grab a land here. Just give me a land. It's a mirror match. Oh, you know you want to get a token out there. I know I'm going to want to get a token. Yeah. Smart guy. I could block this, but that would be stupid. Oh, there we go. Let's actually, we have a play next round. Let's do this. Next turn we can grab an extra. Yeah, I think they have something held up here. I should actually be holding on to control. Think I did too much with my deck? Maybe. Alright. What do we want to do? So we're going to be taking 3 in the air, plus I'm guessing another 3, because I think they have the 1/1 counter play in their hand. They'd probably be dumb not to attack with their flyer, right? They have so much more up. I think I want to play this attack. Yeah, because I need some blockers up. They do have Forest Walk going for them. Yeah, I think that was the right play. Gonna want to kill, obviously, their mentor. If they had the 1/1/1 play in their hand, though, they would. I mean, I wish I had that in my hand right now. That would blow them right away. I think I had to do that just to make sure I didn't get blown out right away. I also can block their greeter pretty easily now. I am getting aggroed out a little bit now, but I can block in the air soon. So they could have a fight spell in their hand too right now. But I'm going to need removal and protection in the air coming up. So ooh, that's going to do it. We're going to want to put that. Where do we want it? Here, and let's go here. And then we should be able to tap our creatures. Oh, I totally messed that up. Each creature with a token or a counter on it. Tap for green. So if I put it on this guy and that guy, I would only have 3 up, but I could play the chitter. That wouldn't do anything. Okay. Alright, let's not back it. Let's just kind of let it ride out. And, oh yeah, this has a timer, right? Alright. So what do we want to do here? We want to put in a counter spell. We have too much we're trying to do. Like, that's too slow. Let's put in a counter spell. Let's put in a bounce. Let's get rid of this might be a little, yeah. Let's get rid of Rishkar. Let's go with that. Because Rishkar didn't do a whole lot. Like, it's going to ramp me a little bit. I guess it puts counters down, but I don't know. But I think I need some more early interaction just to prevent them from taking my creatures. Then again, there's so many good cards in your deck that, like, you just gotta hope you get a good draw. This is a better hand. And I'm gonna play this guy first, grab a... Actually, you know what? Let's go this first. Oh. Sometimes I just think I'm an idiot. Literally. Why didn't I just play the swamp or any of my tap lands? That's devastating. Okay. We're a little slow here. They got their guy right off the bat. If they have both again, that's going to be incredible. That's fine. We don't have many cards that's going to work with that. I honestly should have gotten rid of the Esper and replaced it with other stuff because it doesn't seem like it's going to do much in their deck either. If we make it that far, I'll get rid of it. But we're going to play the Swamp next turn. Or if we draw another basic land, we'll play that. Get the Lieutenant out. Okay, now I'm going to want to put my counter on my Lieutenant. I was going to say that seems like an easy block to me. Okay, now we'll get the Lieutenant out. We'll put it on the Wolf. I think the Ranger class is going to get us ahead here. What land do we want, though? We do have some blue cards that we want to play. We have some black. Yikes.
Close your eyes, breathe, and listen to the sounds of the wild. This'll be fun to watch.
I feel like I'm okay double. Oh no, I'm gonna lose both my creatures then. Let's take it. Let's let the Gear Hulk actually. Are any of these a forest or an island? None of them are. Let's put a forest down. I don't have a forest. Let's put... Yeah, let's put an island down. Let's... be efficient with our mana. Let's go here, here, and here. And let's pump our... Actually... Let's go here and here. Pump our token up. I think that's a solid attack. We need to get rid of this Vivian right away. They're going to lose their Gala. They are... That's big. That's what we want. Now, if they play the Gear Hulk now, because I'm assuming they also have that. Okay. That's a pain in the ass. I'm going to be at 6 land. I can play the Lieutenant and pump up my Ranger class. Oh, that's brutal.
They bite.
Okay, I'm going to assume they're going to pump up their Virtuosa. Next turn, when I play down my Snake, or if I draw a land, either of those are going to be good. A kill spell would be great right now. Wow, are they going for it?
I'd get out of the way if I were you.
Five, 10, 16. I block one of them. I'll take out the Virtuosa, kill it. Take 1 damage. Now we just gotta hope that they don't have a pump spell, because then I'm dead. It looks like they do. That's game. Yeah, I just didn't get great draws. I'm not great at traditional, so I'll collect my pansy prize and call that a day. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys, liked this kind of format, because it was pretty interesting. But either way, feel free to check out my Twitch channel, my YouTube at Parky's Playground, and I'll see you guys at the stream on Monday night at 9:30. Take care.